everyone.
Yeah, hey guys. Guess what we're doing this week? Guess what movie we're doing this week?
What movie, Tessa?
There is no movie.
There's no movie. We're not doing a movie.
It's just us.
Yeah, it's just us.
Hey, you look great. I just wanted to point that out. I feel like you look great.
Are you talking to the listener or to me?
Both.
Thank you.
You all look great.
Thanks for saying that.
I feel like, I'm just really resonating with you today.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
on a spiritual plane.
I felt a very good vibe walking in. And I'm continuing to feel that vibe in this moment.
Yeah. I don't know if you maybe got some new crystals or...
I just got my hair dyed.
Oh.
You know what?
That's probably what it is.
It's definitely your hair.
I'm very blonde now.
And maybe it's just a good time blonde vibe that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering who's talking right now, it's me, Hillary.
It's Hillary, our EP/background host.
Little old Hillary.
Little
chimes in every once in a while.
So we are doing something different this week, guys. We are... Hillary planned it, so Tessa and I aren't really sure, but it's sort of like a meet the hosts, so you guys get to learn a little bit more about us. I know we talk about ourselves a lot on the podcast, but just separately from the movies or whatever topics.
Yeah, we're going back to basics. We realize that you guys know that I might be a sociopath, but you probably don't know my middle name. It's Elaine.
Right. And you might know that I love dark movies. But you might not know
why. What triggered that in your childhood? Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so I'm going to come at you with a really hard question.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
So this is kind of funny. Tessa and Tricia didn't know each other that well before we started this podcast.
At all.
I had known Tessa for about a year, and we all started getting close through the podcast. But what would have happened if you started recording and there was no chemistry and it was just a dud? Because we put a lot of planning into it
before we even started recording.
Oof. I mean, I think we would just really heavily lean on movie clips. Here, listen to half the movie. We'll just chime in every now and again.
Yeah. So you try to keep it going.
Yeah.
You wouldn't give up.
I feel like the chemistry would come because I feel like if it wasn't working out chemistry-wise, it's because we were both nervous.
Yeah.
Because just talking to Tricia when I first met her, I was like, I like her.
Yeah.
So you felt it early on.
Yeah. Same with you. So when I met Hillary, I was like, I like her.
You know what?
This is going to be fun.
It didn't even occur to me. I'm not even kidding that there wouldn't be chemistry. Oh. So I had zero fear of it not being fun and working out in terms of us being able to have the conversation. I guess maybe some doubt that we would all remain as committed as we've been. Mostly doubt about myself. But just being able to, three people who haven't known each other that long, just starting the project, not having any other reason to be doing it other than we want to be doing it, right? With no fixed deadlines, any of that. And so that occurred to me more so that it never even occurred to me that there wouldn't be chemistry. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
If there wasn't, would you have just ghosted each other or would you have broken up over a text message?
Well, we have the women in comedy thing, which is almost like the mutual friend thing, where we couldn't have broken up in a really bad, shitty way because we all volunteer for the same thing. And so we'd see each other and we know...
I was like, how would we break up? It'd be really hard to ghost any of us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have ghosted.
No, I think I probably would set up a FaceTime call or something and do it face-to-face, but also not. And then also be really busy at that moment and be like, oh, I gotta go. So it has to be a finite.
Or you can just play the, I thought I could do this, but I'm in over my head. I'm too busy. I mean, pretty easy to...
I think that would have
just come up with something like work or life.
It's too easy. There's no scheming in that. There's nothing.
I mean, that's just the truth.
That's boring.
I want lighting. I want to be in a crowded restaurant and I'll be like, oh my God, my order. I'll just make faces until I have to go.
You want to throw a glass of wine in my face, break up.
Yeah. Well, you won't be there. It'll just be me in a restaurant by myself FaceTiming you wherever you are.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, I was also, I think, not highly concerned, but it was your idea to do a podcast from the get. And it was a little dream of mine. And I had reached out to friends before and I had mulled it over for like a year or so. But I do that with lots of things and don't actually start them. And so I remember us all sitting at that coffee shop. I always forget the name of it. It's in Humboldt Park, right near where I live. We had a women in comedy
one of the
meeting.
Dark Matters.
We had a women in comedy meeting there, and that's when I asked you, listen, if you want to have, I know you're doing this on your own, and I'm not trying to take it away from you at all, but if you want to have like a co-host, I would totally do it. And when you just said yes, I was like, holy shit. I couldn't believe it because it was your project initially. And so I'm incredibly grateful for that. So you wanting to keep me on. I mean, it really was. And then we went and like brainstormed about what the podcast would actually be about. And that was a lot of fun. You remember that?
Yeah.
Where we just kind of like.
We were at a different cup. We were at
Then we
the
went to
one
a
by
different
Spinning
one.
J. What's that called?
Oh. But then we were at
Yeah,
guys, I guess it doesn't matter which coffee. There's 1,000 here. But we were like, we were just like crazily writing stuff and like, what are we gonna? Oh, hi Nola. This is Hillary's dog is right in the middle of the couch.
I thought she was going to sleep. No.
But yeah, so
Well, it worked
does
out.
that answer your question?
Yeah, it worked out. You guys have good chemistry.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Thanks, Hillary.
Let's keep it up because we want to start making money off this.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the goal.
we have no issues
the
with
goal.
selling out. Let's just throw
Yeah.
that out to the public now. We will advertise for you,
I
like,
am
please.
pretty much for sale.
Yeah, no,
so-
my soul's for sale in this
Yeah.
realm. So
Yeah.
Speaking of making money, Tessa, would you rather have this podcast blow up or would you rather have your comedy career blow up and leave us behind?
Oh, guys.
wow.
I feel like this is the vehicle for my comedy career to blow up, so it'd be very hard to leave this behind.
So we're a stepping stone.
Yeah.
You're using
You guys
us.
are
Okay.
the satellite radio in the vehicle of my comedy career.
Wait, hold on.
Like, I'd be so bored and lonely without you.
That doesn't entirely answer the question because for that same exact reason, it could be easy to leave it behind.
No.
What if
I
your
need the
comedy
radio. You're my Sirius XM in the vehicle of my comedy career.
What if you get called by an agent and you are to report on set to your first film?
Then I'd Skype in. Guys, I'd find a way.
Yeah.
I would never leave you.
It can be done virtually too.
mean,
It can.
Plenty of big people still have their podcasts.
Absolutely.
Actually, they're
how we're
big
gonna-
first, and then they started podcasting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, we talk a lot about where we're from. Let's just say where we're from for the listeners and what your town is known for. I will go first. I am from Evanston, Illinois, and John Hughes shot all of his movies there,
Oh,
which is cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not all of them, but most of them.
Was the Breakfast Club at a high school you knew?
Like all the Home Alone movies. Dennis the Menace, he's at my elementary school.
Wait, John Hughes was the director of Home Alone? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Weird
I thought
Science,
80s
my
movies.
personal favorite.
Wow.
I don't think that one's
Uncle Buck, my friend's cat was in Uncle Buck.
Perfect.
So that's
That is a claim to
Ferris
fame.
Bueller. That's not really in Evanston, but you know,
Yeah.
that's what it's
You're blowing my mind because I didn't even know any of those were John Hughes. I thought it was like 16 Candles,
Yeah.
Breakfast
Yeah,
Club.
that too.
Where are you from, Tessa?
I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I like to say that I did time in Zion, Illinois. It's pretty much a footloose town where there's no fun or dancing.
Nice. Nice.
And then I left immediately as soon as I was able to. And I moved back to Chicago.
Nice.
Back to civilization. Zion is known as the halfway point between Chicago and Milwaukee.
Is that where you went to college in Zion? When did you do
I was
time?
there like middle school and high school.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. So, the best years to be new.
Yeah.
So you lived in Chicago for elementary school?
For the beginning, yeah. And then we moved to Zion, Illinois, or to Waukegan and then Zion.
Got it. Well,
Got it.
Super
glad
fun.
to have you back.
Yeah, it
Thanks for
was
joining us
treacherous.
in Chicago.
I didn't get any tattoos, but I did learn to make toilet wine.
Wow. I thought you could only learn how to make that in prison.
I did time.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I'm so slow with those kinds of jokes. Jesus. Oh, how funny. All right, I'm from Bay Village, Ohio. It's a little suburb right outside of Cleveland.
Not outside of Cincinnati, which I always
That took a
always
while.
confuse it.
That took a while. And
Did,
Cincinnati
Zach-
sucks.
Did Zach Morris go to your high school?
No.
Damn. Isn't that the high school from Saved by the Bell?
Bayside.
Oh.
And that's in California.
I was like, geez, it looked a lot different, their high school and the weather in Saved by the Bell. So I'm from Bay Village, and what we're known for, I mean, this already illustrates my darkness because it's the first thing I think of, but two pretty infamous murders. The Dr. Shepard murder, the doctor who killed his wife, and the abduction and murder of Amy Mahalovic. And the fact that two pretty, once that gained national attention, happened in our very small, little sequestered suburb was kind of strange. I'm sure there's other stuff, but...
What about the kidnappings? Was that just close to you in Cleveland, or was it... I thought you were close to that one, too.
Yeah, the Amy Mahalovic. So that kidnapping was...
Oh, they call it the Amy Mahalovic kidnapping?
Yeah, or that's the girl's
I think
name.
you're thinking of the people who are like kept in the basement.
I'm thinking about the three girls
Oh, right,
who were kept in the
guys.
basement as one of them escaped.
This is different.
Oh,
this
right,
is
guys.
This is one from the 80s. Amy
Okay, so
Mahalovic.
that is from the late 80s. You are totally right. We have also had, I can't believe I forget his name, but the man who held the girls captive in his house beginning in the 90s, I believe. And then they escaped I was in Philly at the time, so it was probably like 2012 or something, 2013.
I thought it was super recent that one girl got out. Time is just flying.
I mean,
by.
it could be.
That is insane.
I wanted to say it was like 2015, but...
Yeah, it was around then, somewhere between 2011 2015.
It's a big spread, but okay.
It is a totally big spread. And I can only base that off the time that I lived in Philadelphia because I remember watching the news there. But yeah, that one too. And I grew up seeing their faces on posters, when they still do it, but like, I don't know, at the post office and stuff. You don't, when they just have the like missing children and stuff.
Milk carton kids was like the worst form of advertisement.
Because it's not something you throw away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also just
And how many adults just drink milk? Like, I don't recognize...
Ones that would probably kidnap kids.
Well, then that's an advert. That's not healthy.
it's an advertisement for missing children.
All right, so remind me never to visit Tricia in your hometown.
Yeah, seriously. Children go.
Unless I don't want to see my family ever again. Okay, I'm going to put 45 seconds on the clock, and Tricia is going to try to get Tessa to guess a list of SFLs, strong female leads, and the movies they're in. So you can't say the movie, and you can't say the actor's name or the character's name, okay? So
Wait, and I'm guessing what movie they're from.
You're guessing, yeah. So you have 45 seconds. So,
oh, good. You're giving them to me. I thought I had to know them.
No. So try to get her to guess. Tessa has to name the movie and the character, either the actor or by the character. I know you always refer to people by the actor's name and never the character. So
but it can be one or the other?
One or the other, or both.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so I'm going to
I don't even know. Oh, my goodness.
You got it.
I'm not.
Okay, ready?
I watch a specific type of movie. I don't even know these basics. Okay.
I'm at the most disadvantage. I forget these people instantly.
Okay, ready?
Can I do like a action,
Sure.
even if people can't see it? Okay.
It's a podcast. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
There are no rules.
Yes.
I'm making them up as I go. Okay, go.
This actress was in Beaches, and but that's not the movie this is. The coconut. Witches. Like magic. What's a term?
Witch.
Nope. What do you say when you're casting a spell?
Cauldron?
Casting a spell.
Abracadabra?
No, the other one.
Ugh.
Begins with an H.
Hocus Pocus!
Yeah, and who is it? The woman I'm talking about, the most
Sarah
famous
Jessica
one.
Parker.
Like a gay idol, right? Like people like.
Oh, Bette Midler.
Perfect. Okay, that's enough. This movie is about a prostitute. She falls. Oh my god!
I underestimated.
It's not enough time. I'm just bad at. I should have skipped.
When I was doing this, I thought you'd probably have gotten 15 by now. I'm gonna put a minute on the clock.
Wait, so these are not movies that we've done. I didn't realize that. I thought we were choosing from like the list of movies we've done. That's why I was a little confused, and I was like, wait.
Okay.
The only witch movie we did was Teen Witch.
She thought we were gonna get 15. There's 16 total. We got one.
Okay, let's start the segment over.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna play a game now. Tricia is gonna read. Tricia has a list of movies, and Tessa has to guess which one she's thinking of. So Tricia, get her to guess the movie and the main SFL. Okay. I'm gonna put a minute on the clock. Let's see how many you can get. Okay.
Okay.
Don't sound so miserable.
No, I'm ready now. I'm ready now.
Ready, go.
Okay, this movie is about a prostitute with the heart of gold, and she falls in love with Richard Gere.
Oh, Pretty Woman.
And who's the star?
Sandra Bullock.
Nope.
No, the other one.
She's got a huge smile. She was in Eat, Pray, Love.
I don't know her name. Not Sandra Bullock.
Okay, we're moving on. This actress was in The Office, but then she had her own show.
Mindy Kaling, The Mindy Project.
Okay, perfect. This woman was on Saturday Night Live, and she was in the movie about all the girls that are in a wedding party.
Oh, Bridesmaids. All of them?
Yeah,
any of them?
The character's name starts with L, and the actress's name starts with M.
Oh, Melissa.
Moving on.
What's her name?
This is a movie that we did, Space, and the model who was in it.
Oh, Valerian and eyebrows.
Okay. And then the singer that we love, who had a nervous breakdown, and her movie that you love.
Mariah Glitter?
Yeah. Okay. She was in The Notebook, but also the movie with Lindsay Lohan.
Shit. Mean Girls.
So I think the issue with us getting this game is the guessing of the two things.
I'm just terrible with actors' names.
Okay.
I'm just terrible at,
Well,
I've got the face.
You can get a door prize. Good job.
Winner.
Don't you love this? I'm like,
Winner,
the problem with the game, Hillary, and not with us not being able to do it.
Okay, moving.
We got the movies.
Moving right along.
All
Good
right.
job.
Oof.
I would have killed that.
I know. I feel like I could have
I
killed
should
it
have
too.
played it by myself. I would have done really well. Okay,
I don't know any actors' names
was
unless I'm
awful.
looking directly at them.
And I was cheating
Or they're
by just
Idris
giving
Elba.
initials. What a jerk.
Have you ever listened to the podcast Just Between Us? Mm-mm. It's good. I think it's new. I think they have like 10 episodes out or something. Anyway, it's like these two comedians. They're funny. But they do a bunch of question and answers and stuff. And they do pretty ridiculous hypotheticals. But I thought this was funny.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, let's say
Hypotheticals.
you do get married to Zach at some point in your future. 35
We're
years,
planning on it.
35 years after you get married, you find out that he made out with one of the cater waiters at your wedding. But that was the only time he's ever cheated on you. What would you do? So the day of your wedding, he makes out with someone else. Never happens again. You have a very happy marriage. What would you do?
35 years into the marriage, I'd probably just call it a win. And say, fuck it, it happened. And then I would use it as an excuse to do what I wanted I would get a hall pass as a result at the age of 70.
Which is really when your life
Old
begins.
people are freaks. So.
Yeah. So I would, but 35 years in, I'm 70 years old. I mean, I think I'd let it go.
I think I'd ruthlessly make fun of them.
Yeah.
And like tell everyone.
Yeah. Oh, I'd let people know. I'd
I
like
definitely like the hall pass too.
take a hall pass, make fun of him, get other people making fun of him, let everyone I know that it happened, make him feel miserable for a certain period of time, get a hall pass, and then that's it.
All right. Well, it's not going to happen. So it's a hypothetical for a reason. Okay. Tessa, if you could be on any TV game show, past or present, what would it be?
Oh my God. Supermarket sweep?
Welcome to the first supermarket in the world that gives you money. $5,000. And we give it away time and time again. So get ready, because you never know what's going to happen on Supermarket Sweep. Are you?
Would be the show. I feel like I'd be so good at it. I love grocery stores. I even like shop now because we're fancy at like Mariano's and Whole Foods with a glass of wine, and I still think I'd win with the wine. Mm-hmm. Even like having 2 or 3 glasses in, I'd still win because you go for the hams.
I like that.
Do you remember that game? Am I the only one who watched it?
You tried
feel
to
like
add
I
up
watched
to
it
a certain
once.
price. Like you tried exactly get to like $20.50.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had to get an
I
exact
think you'd start with
price.
hams. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. You
People
go
always
straight for
want
the
hams.
hams because they're so expensive, and it's by weight. So you get like 10 hams, and then you go to the other meats, and you just stay away from vegetables because they're trash food and like are worth no money. Then you go to processed food.
Yeah,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's exactly what I picked.
Brilliant.
I'm glad you asked me that because I do think about that a lot.
I like the physicality of that game show.
Ooh, can I have a second? Like, if for some reason supermarkets we could not
different
accommodate my request to be on their show.
I mean, we can literally do anything we want. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
My
for it.
second one would be that Nickelodeon show where you're on like a quest it was from the 90s. I forget the name
So
of it.
there's Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That one.
And then also Global Guts or something.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
You guys grew up with cable.
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
Cable was my best friend.
There were four
I
of
was
us, so
16
my parents
when
would
we got it,
need
so.
a TV. Yeah.
Okay, so all the
I watched inappropriate things. I watched Nickelodeon
Yeah.
and then BET late at night for Comic View. I was a very
I just didn't. I wish
strange
I would have
kid.
had that Nickelodeon like life, and then I would have recognized all these stars from like the Mickey Mouse Club and all that shit, and I just didn't know that stuff. Okay,
loved in the Mickey Mouse Club.
what Nickelodeon show would you choose?
Legends of the Hidden
That's-
Temple.
okay.
Yeah, it's both physical. It's physical activities. You win stuff. You learn stuff. Ugh, it was so good.
I would probably pick something that I walked away with a briefcase of money. Okay, moving on.
When you were a kid, or
Oh no, past or present. I think it'd be today. What show could you be on?
I do Double Dare or Family Feud.
Ooh,
Oh, fun.
Family
Yeah.
Feud.
That one just seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With your family?
Probably not. I'd go in some other version of it where I get to just like create my own team.
Got it.
I like
Okay.
it.
What SFL movie or TV show do you recommend all of our listeners to stop what they're doing right now and go see? So maybe one that we haven't watched or talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something that's not like super well known. My favorite show right now, well, I've already watched it. I finished like a year ago. It was Rita, which I don't think a lot of people
No,
have seen.
you keep talking about it. I
We
know.
can't do it on the show. It's just too long. I think TV shows are hard, but
You
it's
brought
on
that up.
Netflix.
I
And
gotta
it's
see
this
it.
Danish teacher, and she's just the mother of all SFLs. I love it. I highly recommend everyone watch
Because
it.
isn't she? She's a teacher, so does she like have a really screwed up personal life, but she's helping other people?
She's a single mom, and she like makes really bad decisions for herself, but she like really takes care of her wolf pack.
Love that.
Yeah.
Sort of like a Botwin-ish.
Yeah, she's less.
Just saying.
It's
just
less
saying.
about her though. Like
it.
she genuinely cares about everyone, and she genuinely
Oh,
cares about
yeah.
the students. But she'll also like fuck a student's dad,
Yeah,
Who
right.
added parent-teacher conference.
Which
Can't
tends to
just have
take you.
hot dads roaming the hallways not getting fucked.
Yeah.
You can't bring your. You
It's
can't.
just reasonable.
You know what? Seriously, children with DILFs,
How dare
don't
you.
take them. And how dare you? Don't take them to
Exactly.
meetings. How
Exactly.
dare you?
Why would you distract me in this way?
Yeah,
you know
be a
I'm
horrible
just a
elementary
woman.
school teacher. Like, oh no, it's my favorite time of year, parent-teacher conferences.
I'd be a horrible teacher too. Oh, what would you pick? Tessa?
Ooh, I don't know.
Like a hidden gem from your past, or
Oh gosh.
could be anything. You know.
I mean, I think that if somehow you've escaped seeing Grey Gardens, you
yeah,
should
that's a
be
good
watching
movie.
Grey Gardens.
That's
I've seen
good.
it as a musical live.
Which
I've seen it-
version?
any of them. All of them. Watch
Drew
them
Barrymore
all.
did really well in that.
And then there's a new one. Nola, this is our podcast.
I know.
There's a new one coming out, a new documentary on the ladies of Grey Gardens, and I fucking love. I could watch that shit all day.
I saw like not the live one, but like where they were actual footage of the sisters.
the
Not
documentary.
not anyone recreating it. Also known as a documentary.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just fascinating.
Yeah.
There's a show. Was it by? Oh gosh, it's Fred Armisen and Bill Hader.
documentary now. They did it too. I've seen every iteration of Grey Gardens that there is. I
That
live
show,
for
if
it.
you haven't seen it, I mean,
What's it called?
documentary now, and
I'll check it
it's
An IFC
it's like
show.
a mockumentary kind of thing, and I mean,
I
those
love
two are just so
mockumentaries.
funny, and they do Grey Gardens, and them playing the. I mean, it's just, and Fred Armisen.
It's like Edie doing her like 4th of July dance. It's like worth it. Worth it.
I
Good
love
answer,
an
Tessa.
extremely wealthy, like beyond wealthy, but then falling into like shambles sort of situation with a woman who is like delusional, and I love that stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's
they
all
still
about,
live in a mansion,
being
but
like generationally cursed and
Yeah,
like not
love that.
not setting out on your own and only living with regret. I'm like, oh my god.
at this time, I mean, it's a current one. This dog. At this time, I would say Killing Eve.
I haven't started that yet.
It's so good, and I feel like it's a relatively common story in that it's someone who is in like the investigator and the killer, or in this case an assassin, and they both kind of become obsessed with each other. Like I've seen that before. I've seen different iterations of that, but the acting, and it's a drama, but it is funny in quirky ways. And Sandra Oh, and I don't know the name of the actress who plays Villanelle, the assassin, but they have this mutual obsession and attraction for each other too, and it's wild. It's so well done. So the first season is available on Hulu, I think, and the second season is out now.
I like
is
that.
currently happening. Yeah, it's awesome. I would drop everything. I did drop everything. No one told me to, and that's what I did. And I just watched it. I can go through a whole series in 2 days, guys.
I've been trying to finish series that I like started, and I'm like,
that too.
I just finished Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and
I've been told that is hilarious.
so funny.
And
So funny. And the ending is so good. I was so happy.
Is it really well
Rachel
done?
Bloom is an SFL, like, just...
I've heard that it's
Loved it.
fantastic. A
Yeah.
friend of mine from Cleveland, she had me watch the first part of maybe just the pilot, and she said, "Don't get offended. She kind of reminds me of you in some of her, just her mannerisms and stuff like that." And I watched it, and yeah, she did.
What's it on? Is it on Netflix?
All 4 seasons are on Netflix now. Because it's over.
What are you illegitimately afraid of?
Illegitimate.
Yeah, illegitimately afraid of.
I mean,
Like the older you get, the less illegitimately you should be afraid of things.
I don't know how illegitimate this fear is, but I do have a severe case of what I call FDS, which is Final Destination Syndrome. I'm sure you've seen the movie by now. But the people just die in these crazy ornate ways, which is kind of how, if I had to choose, I'd like to go out. But also I do fear it, especially like when you get too close to the train and you just like, maybe like a piece of your coat gets caught in the train doors and then you're like pulled to your death. Or you're on a plane and the wing falls off. So the more elaborate, the better.
Yeah.
Andrew's like that, like driving behind trucks.
Oh, when a log falls off, because that happens in the movie.
Yeah, but like or like in Chicago, you have all those pickup trucks that have like the fake sides and they're just full of scrap metal.
Yeah.
He's like constantly thinks things are like just gonna fly and impale, and like he's totally afraid of that.
Exactly.
Wow.
But I feel like that's also very realistic.
That's pretty realistic, though, the trucks.
Yeah. Well, all of the FDS scenarios that I gave earlier are also very plausible.
Yes. Sure.
Those could happen.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like all of those. I guess I have I think this is a little more legitimate, a fear of drowning, because I'm not a strong swimmer. So that is a possibility. But illegitimate, it's not a fear I walk around with because I'm not usually in this situation. But I grew up loving roller coasters, and I went maybe 4 years ago or 3 years ago to Cedar Point for the first time in 15 years. I thought I was going to fall out of the roller coaster. Like I did not trust the bar. I thought there was too much room. I thought
You couldn't push it in more?
It was as far as it went, but I couldn't, the whole thing did not make sense to me anymore, and I was shaking. And I had fun with my friends, but roller coasters are just not my thing anymore. Like the older I get, the more fear is established with some of those things that when you're younger you just don't have a fear of. Like skiing, I enjoy it, but because I don't go that often, now when I go, I'm I assume I'm probably going to die. Things like that, like, because you just think, but the roller coaster, I really was like, oh, this is how it goes. This is how it ends for me 15 years after never having been.
That'd be a rough one, too.
It would be.
Just falling out. I mean, you're more likely to get stuck and then have to climb down. But I would say, I thought I'd fall out.
I love roller coasters. I used to work at Six Flags, and my favorite day was there's a roller coaster that's like one side is like a corkscrew, and then it kind of makes a U shape into like one where it kind of just like holds you up, kind of like just suspended in the air, and then you just like really rush back and you do the corkscrew again and you come back. And one day I'm like behind the scenes and like you just hear this loud crash, and I was like, oh fuck, because like the ride's been having some issues, and I was like, oh fuck, someone just fell off the ride. And I legit thought someone fell off the ride. And I was like, well, that's awkward. But I'm going to ignore it. Because that's my way.
Right. Why get involved?
What? I
She
mean,
just whistles her way off. Like,
why get involved? But you're the kind of person that'll get pulled in to do something and help them.
I didn't have to, thank the Lord.
Because you have a perma-smile. You have a perma-friendly face.
a resting smile.
Yeah. Ugh. But luckily, nobody had fallen out of the ride, but someone's prosthetic leg had fallen off while they're on the ride, and it smacked the top of this building so loud, I was sure a body fell through. But it was just someone's prosthetic leg. So everything was fine.
That is hilarious.
But wouldn't you, like, check that before you, like, get on the ride? Because, like, come on.
Wow, that's...
The force of those rides, I'm like, but I love it.
People who have prosthetics, think about the rest of us.
Yeah.
Make sure that
I had a
it's
fright.
connected.
I had a fright, and I could have
You gave Tessa a fright.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you had to go and replace something incredibly expensive and potentially have to go around without your prosthetic for a while.
Well, I'm just assuming that you had it insured.
You know what? I feel bad about this now, but when I was a kid, I did not like that sick children were allowed to go in front of me in line. I just was like, that is not cool. You gotta wait in line like everybody else. I'm an asshole. Yep, that's what I thought. I was annoyed because I'm waiting in the heat. I'm getting burnt. They should wait in line with me. But now, okay, I get it, guys. All right, and I also volunteered with kids with a group called Youth Challenge, and I went on outings and stuff with kids with
was it so you
disabilities.
could get into the front of the line?
When I did it, then maybe it was from a selfish place.
Yeah, strong female leader right here.
When I did it, I was like, oh no, this makes sense. They deserve it.
I was like, how
they deserve
sick are
it.
you if you're still getting on a ride? I think that's, again, I was making a face, and I was like, but how sick are you if you're still going on the roller coaster?
I mean, you could have
Make a
cancer
wish
and be able to go on a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
I
was just like, again, so unobservant as a child. I would have just assumed that they like had someone waiting, like holding their space. Not that they were cutting. Be like, oh, that was smart.
No, it's a nice...
You should have sent someone like an hour before to stand here too.
It's a very kind,
Higher
humanistic policy of Cedar Point.
Well, now you can just pay, which I think is super lame.
Yeah, because everyone does. And then
I
what's
hate
the
Six
point?
Flags.
To go ahead.
I never want to go again in my life.
I love it.
Terrifies me. I don't like the crowds.
I love Fright Fest.
Don't
all
like
these
the
haunted
people.
houses.
It's good for
Don't like
people
the
watching. That
prices.
stuff's really good for people watching. Matching t-shirts. I'm with stupid. Lots of that stuff.
There's a fire in your house, and your house is going down fast. What is the one thing you would save? Remember when we were recording the podcast and there was a fire downstairs?
Oh my God. We weren't actually... I wish we were recording, listeners, because we were just setting up. We weren't really recording yet, but all the smoke was... Like, we smelled it. I smelled it from the moment I came into your building. But then all of a sudden we saw billows of smoke. We'd look outside and it was coming out from, one of the apartments. We went down and we checked on the guy.
The fucked up thing is we didn't really do anything about it. We knew there was an issue. Like, we did. It took us a while to go down there and knock on the door and see if he was okay.
There's Well, we didn't see the billowing smoke at first. So it's like, okay, someone just burnt the shit out of
Yeah.
a frozen pizza.
Yeah.
Like, really, open your windows, like, move on. But then, like, I was...
Because even a grease fire, like, I've had one of those, and that can make it smell like something was burning down.
Yeah. But the floor in the kitchen was hot.
was
And I was
hot.
like, there's something going on.
I think we still waited a while.
Yeah, well, because like then we went out. Then I went outside and I saw the smoke coming from like one of the apartments beneath me, and I was like, okay, well, at least they're taking care of it. Like
And they're adding oxygen to the fire. But
Yeah, there's a potential backdraft
I love
situation.
calling the police. What? Oh yeah, like if I see a car accident, if I see anything that like it's any sort of danger, someone seems in danger, I love calling the police. I feel like I'm helping. I feel like I'm doing my duty.
Well, I feel like if I saw a car accident, I would call, but I would be annoyed that I have to wait at the scene.
Oh, you don't have to wait at the scene.
Oh.
No,
I mean,
who told
I
you
guess
that?
if they need your help, you should.
Yeah. Like if I was a witness to an accident and you
Yeah.
called, I'm assuming they needed your witness statement.
Yeah, like we were driving over to a friend's house for New Year's, and we passed this like shitty accident. And they were like dragging this drunk friend out of a car, and he was like hitting his head on the ground. I was like, someone else is here, but you call it in.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But I'm surprised I didn't call it in for the fire downstairs because we were at stake.
I've called the cops a couple of times. Like one time I was exiting off the highway back in Cleveland, and this car was going on like the entrance to the highway, and there was just this little like area of grass that kind of like a dip, and they just went into the grass towards my car and then swerved and then went on the highway. So like I thought I was going to hit them head on, and there's this ambivalence I feel about. I wish I didn't feel the ambivalence, but about that one I didn't feel it. I just called the cops and was like, "There's a drunk driver. Like you've got to get them." But there has been another time where I saw someone driving, and I did feel a little ambivalence because I was like, you're getting someone in trouble. You don't know if something's going to happen, but they're swerving a little too much, and I just called it in,
My thought is to call it in.
But there is that part of me that's like, oh, but then...
If it's me, don't call it in.
If you see me swerving a little, just let me get home. Yeah. I'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive, guys. Okay.
Yeah, well... All right, what was your favorite Kid as a movie?
You mean movie as a kid?
I do. That is what I meant.
I'm trying to think if I could come up with my favorite Kid as a movie, but I know mine right off the bat.
Your favorite kid?
Movie as kids. Stand by Me.
Really?
I watched it 100 times. I have the whole thing memorized. I used to make my friends, shout out Katie Einen and Shannon Fortuna, I used to make them act it out with me. Like that and Now and Then. Actually, no, I'd make them, Katie, I think I would quote both movies too, but I would actually make them act out Now and Then. But no, Stand By Me, River Phoenix, I was so into it. I thought it was the best movie ever. Loved it. That's it.
I don't know. I feel like I was a movie buff even as a kid. I remember.
Only critically acclaimed for you.
No. Only then and now. Trash movies are my jam.
Oh, right.
You were consistent.
Oh yeah, I've not changed at all. But like Speed with Keanu Reeves,
Good one.
was legit my favorite movie for like all of 1995. I was like, yeah. Keanu
I remember you
gets
saying
it.
you were really into Mission Impossible too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and Mission
That was a great
Impossible.
one.
Like my dad always showed us like movies that were age-wise and appropriate. So like I learned Fear at an early age. So like The Shining and Hellraiser and
I saw The Shining at a really young age, and I saw The Exorcist at a really young age.
yeah, I still love The Exorcist.
I mean, I saw that movie when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
What was your favorite,
Same.
though?
I loved The Shining when I was a child. Loved The Shining.
I still don't think that's a scary movie.
I
and
didn't love
never
it
did.
then. I don't
didn't
love
think
it
it was
now.
scary when I was a little
It
kid.
wasn't
I liked
scary.
it though. But
Yeah.
It was
I like
scary in
those
a way
giant
that
cans
was-
of food that they had, like cans of peaches, and I was like, where do you get that kind of stuff?
Restaurant
And then-
Depot.
Well, I
Restaurant
never-
supply store.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Yeah,
know that
it
as
is
a
like
kid,
a
but I was
supply
like,
store.
whoa, these are the richest people in the world. They have giant cans
Yeah.
of food.
I think it was above my head scary when I was younger, meaning I think it's more disturbing, and I just didn't understand
I thought
that
it
when I was a kid.
I thought it was like why is it taking so long? Like, nothing's
I remember
happening.
it was slow. Yeah.
I liked the maze, and I was like, ooh,
I like the twins.
hedge maze.
Yeah. I loved Death Becomes Her. That was one of my favorite movies.
I've never seen that.
And Empire Records.
Empire Records!
I mean, I would just watch that on repeat. I mean, watch that all the time. I think that's probably still one of my favorite movies.
I
that
can't believe I didn't mention that one. Ethan Embry.
Yeah.
It's Rex Manning Day.
It was Rex Manning Day the other day.
Was
April 8th. It's my friend's birthday.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday, April.
We have to watch that together sometime.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One of my college friends, I had pinups of Ethan Embry. I thought I really was going to marry him. Like I would meet him someday. And I had little like Bop magazine sort of things that I brought to college with me, which is sad and uncomfortable. And my friend, well now she's my friend, but she lived in the same hall. She walked in and she's like, oh yeah, Ethan, I know him. I grew up with him. I was like, then I thought maybe I was one step closer. Still haven't met him. Not as into him now. But
Well, as soon as my comedy career takes off, he's the first one on my list.
he's a Scientologist, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, even better.
Who isn't a scientist?
I'm sorry. Let's,
I feel like it's like the key to success in Hollywood and like might be our ticket to the top.
Scientology?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It probably is the best way to... Tessa, seriously, you can get some really good connections and just go to the Celebrity Center and hang out
They're
there.
never going to believe me. You have to go.
They would definitely believe Tricia. And unfortunately, I think you'd believe it too, and then you'd be quickly indoctrinated.
we
I
would
feel like she's
all believe
way
it.
too sarcastic.
I think we would all believe it. And I do have a Scientology questionnaire that I picked up at a center here in Chicago just for fun because I wanted to see what kind of questions. I think I threw it out when I was cleaning, but I should get it. Actually, I should get another one.
How often do you get in fights in your head with people?
Every day.
All the time.
Fights?
Every day.
Yeah.
No, what? We're focusing.
Every day, multiple times a day. I
I
have my
like that
defense
one.
ready.
Yeah.
First, I'm upset, even though I'm not sure. So what happens is action occurs. I come up with a reason why they did or said what they did. I become angry without knowing anything about it, rehearse argument in my head, see them again, ready for a fight.
And it never happens.
And it never happens, and then I just have a tude.
You just described me.
I mean, truly, then I just have an attitude toward them. Zach ends up on the other side of this quite often because I see him the most and interact with him the most. And, oh yeah, I have a full... that's something I've actually been working on not doing because it's incredibly stressful. And when I start to come up with whatever story is behind whatever they said or did, I do something to distract myself or like meditate or something because I can get stuck in that kind of thing and ruminate for hours and I'm unable to turn it off. And then it's just, it's actually an awful habit. But yeah, no, I do that.
I totally do that.
Me too.
Like, yeah.
I have
It's
a
just
lot-
like, to me, it just like streamlines because then I can be like, oh, well, I didn't need to ask that question. I should just jump to question 3 in the interrogation that's going on in my mind. Like the first 2 are just like pleasantries, and then the third one is what I wanted to ask. But if I rehearse it, then I can just skip to the question that I wanted to ask, and then maybe just loop back for the pleasantries after I've gotten the desired effect or result.
It's crazy though, because you never have, I mean, it's very common, but it's insanity because you never have any idea what another person is thinking and what a letdown.
Well, I like to think they're fighting with me in their head. So we are having a fight. I mean, it's happening just in like the atmosphere above our heads.
Do you do that with Andrew?
No, not with Andrew.
Okay.
Because we're good at communicating, but like other people, yeah, it could be shit that happened like 5 years ago. I'm like, God, I should have said this, and then I'll like recreate it.
Ooh, I do get that feeling a lot. I
Yeah,
should have said
yeah.
this.
And I just
But I'm
read
like the least confrontational person ever, which is why I have them in my head and not in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't need to be confrontational because I've already had I know how this was going to go.
I won the argument. Thanks for
Yeah.
participating.
Yeah.
I will let it
Or
slide.
if we need to let you be the winner, well, I
Yeah.
can do that. I am also the bigger person.
I'm glad you see that I'm right. Thank you for agreeing. Yeah, I'm not confrontational. I hate confrontation.
It, like, makes me
makes
shake.
me feel awful
Depends on
and
why.
scared, especially if it's a stranger. It doesn't happen often, but like can be very assertive in situations with people that I don't know at all. But then if it's someone that I'm close to or have some emotional connection and it causes me to be vulnerable, then I'm petrified of it, and I have to like write down what I want to say and rehearse it like that.
I don't know. I think it depends on why I'm being confrontational. Like, if it's like, you offended me, and then, yeah, it would depend on who you are. Like, if you're a stranger, then I'm like, whatever, I don't really care. I never have to interact with you again. If it's someone I know, then I actually have to have a conversation, then yeah. Then
More's riding on it.
More's riding on, like, this being solved. But just, like, at work, I'm like, again, I don't care most of the time, but, like, if it's, like, about my specific clients or something, then I'm like, yeah, let's talk. Let's do it.
Right. Okay, so, all right. Guys, here is a question for you. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
What? It's not a hunch. I am positive I know how I'm going to die.
Tell us.
I am going to die in some sort of, like, a fire. Some sort of, like...
Final Destination fire?
I mean,
wow.
Maybe not.
That's
Final
painful.
Destination, but it will be some sort of accident. Like, it won't be, like, my choosing. It'll be, like, something's happened and now I'm dead.
So a tragedy.
Yeah, but involving fire. So something's going to explode or something, like a car accident or, like, something like that, and I'm positive that's how I go. And I'm positive that I've had a dream about my past lives when I was a kid, because I remember it so vividly. And it was always out of place. And I was like, what is this weird memory?
So you think you died in
I think
a fire?
I died the same way multiple times. And like one time,
so
it
like
was a
Happy
building
Death
fire.
Day?
Yeah, just like throughout.
Is Happy Death Day an autobiography?
Maybe. One of them was a building fire, which
Jesus.
makes sense. And like one of them was like a volcano or like a Pompeii like situation where it's like me in a room with like who I'm assuming is my family, and then it's just like nothing we can do. Like it's happening right now, and it's like something is going on, and it's just like done.
That sounds like the worst way to go.
I know.
Are you kidding? It's great. You're just done.
It's pretty painful until it
I
happens.
think there's probably pain. I don't think you
I
just...
think you die pretty quickly.
In a fire?
I mean, I've heard people scream.
Well, like an
on TV
explosion.
shows.
That like
I mean, are you like right where it exploded?
yeah.
Okay.
It's probably something I did maybe, but I'm just trying to be a witch or something, and then like
So here's the
cold and
thing.
exploded.
The weird thing about stuff like that is we don't know how painful it is, right? Because the only people who have died, or the only people who have experienced it in the way that they died from it, are dead. Like, it's something like Zach and I have talked about.
But then what does it matter?
Well,
if at the end result you're still dead,
I mean, I would rather have a painless death.
why? Again, how long are you gonna like? I don't know. I guess like how long? Like,
I know,
you're
it's not like
skin
you're going to
bacteria.
suffer from the pain because you're not going to be there to remember the pain. I get it,
Yeah,
but still.
I guess I
be
don't
like-
want to like experience all that fear right before I go. I'd like it to
Yeah.
happen without me knowing it. You know, like a right in the back of the head or something.
Wow.
Well, I didn't know it was coming. That would be nice.
So a personally designed execution.
When I'm
Like a euthanasia.
99. That sounds.
Oh, I'm tapping out way before 99.
Guys,
Oh, I'm gonna be.
Unless you can start buying and like harvesting your own organs, which is I don't know why that's illegal. They're
guys,
my
there
organs.
there are ways, like, in terms of, like, I forget what drug it is. It might be morphine. Because, okay, so I heard, when people try to kill themselves and they use pills, I always thought, oh, that's probably, they probably choose it because it's painless. But I've learned since then that it's actually not painless most of the time.
You're so conscious of what you just did, and they're just waiting for the effects.
No,
to
but
kick
in terms of the physical, like, there is
Because your
physical pain.
organs are shutting down
And
while you're conscious.
so there is it might be morphine, but there is a drug that you go to sleep and
yeah,
you
morphine.
die.
You can't.
Is it morphine?
Well, morphine is a painkiller.
But like you won't
can't
feel
feel
an
anything.
overdose.
No.
Like
I mean,
you
lots
can.
of times people,
Is it morphine?
when they're
I can't
in
say.
hospice, they'll just up the morphine and so the person goes.
like euthanasia.
A little bit. Like families will choose to do that.
Is that legal to get? I mean, I guess
In
you
Oregon.
can't. What?
In Oregon.
Yeah, but that's not legal everywhere to give.
Well, you can do
give
the
a
do not
higher.
resuscitate, which
It's
is
a
pretty
choice.
much
I mean,
the
you're
same
already in
thing.
hospice. I mean, you're...
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just stuck on the legal aspects of it. Do you know someone that has? I mean, they have to write it out like it's the prescription that's necessary. And do you know
But
someone
then
who's
they
done
let
that?
you, like, I mean, lots of times you're the one administering it, you know? Like, you don't always have to have doctors administering things. We should look into it.
I bet people do that, but it's definitely not legal. But I bet they do.
It's uncomfortable, but not illegal.
No, it's
just kidding.
illegal.
But
Euthanasia
comfortable.
is
It's illegal to end your own
Illegal.
life.
It's
Period.
illegal, but comfortable.
It's illegal but comfortable. I think it's the kind thing to do in certain situations, but it's definitely not legal.
I don't know,
And
listeners,
Oregon,
if you know if this is legal or not, let us know.
Hillary seems to know quite a bit about this, and I want to dissect
I just
that
don't
a
have any
little more.
problem with somebody like euthanizing themselves.
No, I don't either. That right to die and that story, do you remember that girl with, I don't know if it was like 6-7
Sandra
years
Shivo?
ago? No.
Or Terry Schiavo?
No.
That was 1,000 years
That's
ago.
That was
awful.
different because
The
someone
young
was pulling
girl.
the plug on her. Wasn't her husband trying to end her life, or was that her choice?
No, she
She
was,
didn't have a choice.
she was
a
in a
vegetable.
coma.
Oh.
No,
What a terrible,
or a
what a terrible
Yeah,
word
that
to
seems
call someone.
both
Like,
painless
why do they call
and
people
a
vegetable?
vegetative
That's
state.
terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty
Is
degrading.
there any, where's Dr.
Well, isn't that
Zach?
when you don't have brain activity, so you pretty much, if they took you off
Yeah,
the
but
machines,
why
you
do they
die?
refer to them as a produce is
Yeah.
the real...
Why do they call them a vegetable?
I feel like meat sack is way way meaner.
But that girl who had brain cancer, and then she went to Oregon, and she, you know...
Yeah, Dr.
she-
Kevorkian.
And I think people should definitely have the right to. Like,
But then it
yeah.
becomes a problem when you think of like suicide and and overdosing and an accidental suicide. That's
Yeah.
where the gray area comes. Like, did you choose this? And what happens to literally your possessions, which is the problem.
And you never, you don't know with an accidental or with a lot of overdoses. I have a hunch that hopefully I'll be older. So I only want to be alive while my brain is still functioning. So I don't like the idea of just being in a situation where I'm just being taken care of and I don't even have the knowledge of what's going on.
Wait, so your brain is active, but your body might be failing you? Or your body you're fully able to participate in life and your mind's starting to go? Which one?
I would rather have my body start to go than my mind. But I have a hunch that I'll probably develop a cancer of some sort, and then I'll want to do like something like a right to die. Hopefully I'm older. I don't want to deal with it for that long. And yeah, that's kind of how I...
Let us know. Keep us in the loop.
I feel like I'd want the opposite. I think I'd want my mind to slightly go and then
Like, do you
have
think
full
Alzheimer's...
utility of my body.
But then you're just... I hate to say it, but then what's happening is everyone around you has become so miserable. Like, I know someone taking care of someone with Alzheimer's, and it's like, it's the saddest thing in the
But I
world.
feel like it's equally sad the opposite, to be trapped in your own body. Seems
Yes.
like a different type of horrible torture.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you're... Well, I'm saying I want my body to start going, meaning age. I don't want to not
Well,
be
you can't just
mobile
pick the
and just have
best
my
of
brain
everything.
working. But I am. This is my hunch. This is my death. I can have whatever hunch I want. You want to die in some fiery explosion?
No, I didn't say that's how I wanted to die. That's how the hunch that I'm positive.
You can't have the best of both worlds. Yes, I can. What I would love is just die in my sleep peacefully. That's what I would love.
I would like to be jettisoned into space if I could just choose.
Okay. This one was a great one.
That sounds awesome. I would be frozen. Wow.
Okay, if
That would
you
be
guys
cool.
could set up a dinner party with anybody in history, alive, dead, current people, friends, anybody, who would it be? Who would come
How
to your
many
dinner
people
party?
are invited? Just to
You
be
can
clear.
you can have 5 in addition to yourself.
5 in addition to myself. Okay, give me a minute.
And we don't count. We're just there.
We're the
Oh,
we're the winners.
you're recording the conversation.
Yeah, we're just all there.
We're waiting on you. We're your bartenders.
Yeah.
This is Tessa's world.
So don't
is
feel like you
living
need to
and
include us
dead.
because we're there.
I don't think I would choose anyone living. Everyone here is kind of basic. I mean, you guys are already invited, so.
We're the most basic.
It doesn't get more basic.
I do think I'm kind of basic. I do have some basic interests.
I would. God, this is such an exclusive party. Oh. I was like, through all of history, this is too much. I know for sure I would pick Ulysses S. Grant. He would definitely get an invite.
And he's thankful.
Yeah, he hasn't eaten in a long time.
No, he's
Exclusive
very
party.
hungry.
I won't put this person as an alternate. Should someone get sick and not be able to make it, this person can have the invite. And that's Jesus. Just like, you're not really invited, but like also like if I have to, like if I bought the table at a benefit and I had a seat, I would give it to him.
What about Chelsea Peretti?
Like
No.
30-year-old Jesus?
Or baby Jesus?
Yeah, like Jesus
Bottle fed
crucified.
Jesus or Jesus can
No, I want the Jesus flipping tables in temples. I want the angry, angsty teen Jesus.
Got it.
Teen J. Yeah, teen Jesus.
Teen Jesus. No one talks enough about Teen Jesus.
I think it's so funny that the Bible just like skips over Jesus' 20 because he was wilding out, and I know it. I know it. They just like, he's 13, he's 33. Like, I was like, okay. No one was keeping track of him during those days.
Yeah.
He was fucking in the clubs or whatever the equivalent.
I'm sure he was wilding out.
Hanging
Probably
out
had a
with
lot of
prostitutes
ladies
and shit, turning
Yeah.
water to wine like that was the first time. I doubt it.
I know. He had a lot of
What an
babes.
asshole.
He had a lot of babes.
He's probably like super broy. Or like the period appropriate version of broy.
But his six-pack
Like, do you
was
know who my
on
dad
fleek.
is? Hey, do you know who my dad is? Whoa. You can keep me out of places.
Tell me, but that body.
Oh.
We don't talk enough about how ripped he was, according to the pictures
The
that
fucking
we have.
starvation diet. That was the whole 30.
He was so into the whole 30. He invented the whole 30.
He did. He's the first
I
paleo
think it should
diet.
just be you, Ulysses, and Jesus.
No, more
Teen
people.
Jesus,
More
yeah.
people.
Teen Jesus.
I pick Rasputin. He can come.
Oh, can we pick cartoons?
He's a real person.
I know, but I'm just thinking, could we pick a cartoon?
Yeah, I think you should be able to. And then also, so that's 3. I'd pick Catherine. They're all going to be historical figures. People who I just like, wisdom was lost when you left the earth.
Yeah.
Catherine the Great. And Marie Antoinette.
I knew you were going to say Marie Antoinette.
I
don't know
didn't
why.
until the very last minute. So
I knew before you.
Yeah.
Wow. So intuitive. All right,
I just want to know what her, like, she'd also be like the youth of the bunch.
Yeah. She'd bring a good cake. She'd bring a
She wouldn't, and she never said that. So.
She'd bring. Oh, really?
No.
Well-
It was a French rumor in order for them to riot. It worked.
I love that.
All right, do you guys want to play another game?
Yeah.
Or do you guys also have guests?
Oh.
Oh, no. I don't want to play.
Oh, you don't have any guests? Well, I want to come up with some guests.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. I want Gaga because I really am
I didn't
curious.
know you were such a Gaga fan.
So here's the thing. I'm not like, I don't know her entire catalog of music. I'm not, what is she called? Like Monster Babies or something?
Little Monster.
Little Monster.
Oh, I was
Monster
like,
Babies.
Monster Babies.
I'm not a little monster. The reason I picked Gaga is because she's so flamboyant and amazing, and I'd be very curious about what she would wear. Because I'd want, her instructions would be to come in like full costume, right? I want Gaga. I don't want Stephanie. Okay. My next one would be,
See, it's hard.
it's very hard.
Because as soon as like you get 5 people, I was like, well, it'd be perfect if I could have 10.
Even though you couldn't think past 2 originally. It's like
Well,
so
because
hard.
I was like letting people in off the guest list, and I was like, no,
Right.
it's gonna be a bad conversation, or you're just like, you would ruin it.
So here's the thing. This could be pretty controversial, but so I like awkwardness, and I want this to be crazy. Like, I want shit to go down. So all these people will accept the invite. They'll be there, and I want like real arguing also to occur. So, like, I would potentially invite Trump just because it would be insane.
I would, in real life, invite him anywhere.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that would just, him as a dinner guest, plus Gaga, plus really just like a lot of people that don't like him, which would make it fun. I think, so Trump and Gaga, and probably...
Can I change your guest list person to Sophia, that Saudi Arabian robot? I also want her. Because I was like, I need someone who knows everything. Just for autocorrecting.
What about Alexa?
I know, I
she's
thought
already
I have
maybe-
to
in the
ask
house.
her. She's not a person yet. Sophia probably has like a social security number by now.
I would invite Villanelle.
Oh, characters.
I know, I just thought of that now. So Villanelle, Trump, Gaga. So maybe Villanelle.
Is this a murder mystery party?
Potentially.
Trying to think of the theme.
Someone is actually going to end up dead.
And
So
we
it's
all
not
know who we want it to be.
it's not a murder, it's a murder mystery. Yeah, it's a murder mystery party, but it's real.
It's like a live game of Clue. I'm excited.
Oh my god, this is what it is. Yes.
Who killed Trump in the dining room with a shotgun?
Right. So I brought a female assassin and Trump. Gaga for just costume effect, and potentially she could
And
sing.
drama.
She could sing while everything's going on. And I would bring Betty Ford because she would throw down with Trump. I don't think she would like what he's about. Maybe Marilyn Monroe, just cause, but maybe not. I don't know how much. I love Marilyn, but she would just kind of be a pretty face. So I might have to scratch that. I don't know how much she'd bring to this. You know what? That's it right now. So who did I say?
Betty Ford.
Betty Ford,
Donald Trump. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, Villanelle, and also I bring my grandma too. I would bring my grandma from the grave. I think she would have a really good time at this because she was a little mischievous. I think she'd like to see it go down as well.
Interesting.
And some hot actor man, and I can't think of anyone right now off the top of my head. Like, I think Bradley Cooper is kind of good looking and a good talker, so he could be fun.
What would the topic of conversation be? Like, if you had to put a question on their place card, what would you? It's the same question for everyone, but just like, what do you think those people would like? What would you want to talk about with those people?
That's a really good question.
Because I'm just always like, I was like, why did I name those people? And I was like, I guess I wanted to know their perspective on their world when they were participating in it.
And I just wanted a bloodbath to
But just,
occur
like,
with
what,
music.
What would be the question that set Trump up?
costumes.
Like what would be the setup question? Like, that got Trump murdered, or someone.
Ooh, the question could be, why was I invited?
Oh,
And they
yeah.
all have to come up with an answer. I'd get down with that.
I'd be happy to be a fly on the wall in that room.
We're going to play 20 questions.
Okay.
I have a movie that has a couple SFLs in it, and you guys have to guess it.
20 questions. Okay.
20 questions. All right, go.
Does the movie take place in the present day?
Like in 2019?
Yeah.
No.
Well, not 20 because it would have already
Yeah.
in the 2000s.
No. Close though.
In the 90s.
Yes.
Nice.
2 questions. Okay. Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Is there royalty?
No.
Is the strong female lead blonde or brunette?
Both. There's two. A blonde and
A blonde and a brunette. Okay.
And it's the 90s.
late 90s.
Do the SFLs also appear in TV? Do they do TV and movies or just TV? Or just movies?
One of them definitely was on a big TV show. And the other, I don't know if she's been in TV. I don't think so.
Is there a crime involved?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I should have picked a movie that I'm more familiar with all the little details, but yes, I'm
There's a crime.
pretty sure there was a crime.
And a blonde and a brunette.
You guys are terrible at this game.
Is there
Really
a
bad.
long car drive?
There is a car drive at some point. I don't know if it's like a long.
Is this Thelma and Louise?
No.
It's too late. But I was, yeah.
That was the 90s, right?
I thought it was older than that. I don't know.
Oh, one of them was a redhead. Never mind.
There's a car scene in it. This movie does not revolve around like a driving scenario though.
Is it Oceans, whatever?
Does this movie take place in a big city like New York?
I think it's in a city. Don't think it's in New York. I think they're in California.
Does are both SFLs alive at the end of it?
Yes.
God, we are really
Yeah. Are
bad
the
at this.
SFLs in a professional position, like a doctor or a cop, or? So they're dumb. Is it Romeo and Michelle?
No.
Damn.
Good guess.
Thank you.
I should have just said yes so I could end this.
I'm like, one blonde, one
get it.
brunette, and they're in LA.
I think they're in California.
Was this movie a box office hit, a big blockbuster movie, or was it like something?
Most likely, yeah.
Are
I
the
thought you probably liked this movie.
are the
Tricia.
SFL teens?
Yeah. Late teens, maybe early 20s. They're young.
This movie Empire Records?
No. I feel like you would have liked it though, because it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Is the movie Ghost World?
No, I've never heard of that.
That's a really good movie.
Is this Cruel Intentions?
Yes.
I'm sorry, no.
I can't believe I didn't get it. And then also, guys, I was thinking, I heard the Verve song, or the Verve pipe, or
Yeah.
Verve song while I was at cycling. We got to do Cruel Intentions
Yeah.
as a movie.
I love that movie.
The movie's
That was fucked
so
up.
good. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to our Meet the Hosts episode.
Yeah. Hit us up with your questions if you want to invite us to a dinner party. I'm almost always hungry.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to go and fuck shit up.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I noticed that none of you guys have sent any invites.
Yeah, so we'd like those.
Yeah.
And follow us on Instagram at Strong Female Pod or Twitter at SFL_Chicago. And that's it.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.